right, well, we will dive right in then. Good morning, everybody. I hope that you're having a really lovely day. I recognize most of the names on the call, and I think by now you probably recognize me. Thanks to Jess for inviting me back. It's Shayna here, your NSAR product specialist, manager, and trainer. I'll give you my quick little spiel in case there's anyone new on the call, because I still get comments from members daily that are like, I didn't know you existed. So I want to make sure everybody knows what I do and how I can help you, because I absolutely love what I do. So I specialize in all of the NSAR dashboard programs. So your MLS systems, showing time, MLS stats, dot loop, property online, web forms. Whatever you need, whatever support that you need, you're always more than welcome to reach out, and I'll help you in real time with any of your tech questions and support that's needed. And as most of you know, I also offer all of the one-on-one training appointments, and we can meet via Zoom, in person, whatever your preference is, and we can go more in depth in any of those programs, and I can help you know how to use them to their fullest potential and implement them into your business. And obviously, I do these brokerage training sessions as well. So thanks again to Jess for inviting me back, because I absolutely love engaging with all of you. And I was just saying, it's probably on the recording, but I talk to multiple KW Realty agents every single day. So absolutely love to hear from you guys, and thanks for leaning on me as a resource. So for today, and just bear with me here, I'm going to get my life sorted and set up here with transferring into MarketStats here. MarketStats. Okay, so I've turned my camera off. I was just telling everybody earlier I can't stand looking at myself when I'm training, so my camera's off, but hopefully you can still see my PowerPoint here okay. Jess has asked me to come to talk to you guys about the MarketStats program, so we're going to focus on that together. And you may have noticed in the webinar chat, hopefully it's still there, you might need to scroll a little further up. I did copy and paste a couple of PDF resources related to today's training. One of them is the MarketStats webinar that the MarketStats team offers monthly to support realtors in better understanding how to use these stats to understand their local housing market. And thanks for reposting those, Jess. I appreciate that. The other link there is just to my general guide with kind of a quick video tutorial, quick snapshot of MarketStats. So if you ever need to reference that, you're more than welcome to. And actually, I pulled both of those resources from the knowledge base that I have available to membership here on your NSAR dashboard. So if you go into the knowledge base, there are tons of wonderful resources that I've created here for membership, right at your fingertips. But those links that we copied and pasted into the web chat came from the folder right here labeled MLS Stats. And here are the resources that I've created and have available to members for MarketStats here. All right, so that was just in the knowledge base on your NSAR dashboard. So the MarketStats tab, this guy right here, this tile right on your NSAR dashboard, it's connected directly to the MLS system, and we love it for that. It gives really accurate, up-to-date data for all of the different regions, districts, and sub-districts within the association. It pulls residential stats up to the end of the last full month. All right, so they launch the previous month's data on the 1st. So for example, today's June 5th. So when we're pulling the data today, it will show us that it's the full month of up until the full month end of May, up until the end of May, that it'll be showing us that data that we'll be pulling today. InfoSparks is that dynamic chart that we're going to look at right on the main page of the MarketStats page. I'm going to look at the Fast Stats tab with you guys today, because there's some really great PDF reports that you can pull directly from there. And I love the MarketStats program because it has some really fantastic sharing options to include on your social media pages, your monthly newsletters, to send over to your clients, whatever you need. And I love it for that. And I think you really will as well. So let's take a look together. So you're on your NSAR dashboard, right? And you click on the MarketStats tile right here. So immediately we are redirected to what is referred to as the InfoSparks page here. This is a dynamic chart that will change depending on the different MLS areas that we input along the top, the different variables that we include here, as well as a part that is overlooked often is the metrics along the bottom of the page here. Depending on your screen size, you may need to scroll ever so slightly to make sure that you're looking at these metrics that you can select from along the bottom. All right. Before we dive into this, a couple quick things. Up along the top here is the main menu, right? You can see that we're toggled to InfoSparks right here. I'm going to head on over to Profile quickly. So if you click on your Profile tab, you can, so this is probably pulling from your Paragon account already, but if not, or if you want to update it at all, you can upload your photo here and include your contact and office details and information here. Select update profile if needed, if you've made any further updates. And this will then auto-populate to the very top of your charts that we're going to be pulling through InfoSparks together. All right, so before we dive into InfoSparks, because that's kind of the meat and potatoes of everything, I will select Fast Stats at the very top. We're going to select Fast Stats and look at the different wonderful options here for you. So local market updates, right? That's the first little drop-down menu here. Under area, you can select all of the different districts and sub-districts that you could ever wish for and want to be able to select for our association. All right, so for fun, I am going to select what's right here, Halifax Central. Let's do that. Time period, I'm going to select, it'll default to most recent, as you can see, but it goes back by year and month as well. So I'll select most recent for today. And then we click View Report. So this is going to generate a local market update for us, a one-pager that we can easily print. And you know, I always recommend when I'm training this for all the new agents that I do for meet with for the tools and services training each month, include this in your showing sheets. If you're meeting with clients, it could be a really great value add for your listing presentations and whatnot as well, right? As you can see, so it's very specific, local market update for Halifax Central here, single family and condo data here with the different metrics, and also year over year here as well. And then you have some trends here. So you can easily print, download this as needed. Okay, and as I mentioned, all of your different sub-districts and districts are in here. So whichever you're looking to learn more about, you can select accordingly. And this map also is interactive, so you can click on the map if you prefer that visual and select your area from there. All right, I see we have a question here. Dennis, single family and condo, can we add more options? Unfortunately not. So the MarketStats program just pulls residential data. So anything that falls under residential, which would be your single family, your condos, duplexes, what else would be under there? Townhome, mini mobiles are under there as well. Okay, just not business or vacant land. Hopefully that helps. I don't see any other questions, so I will continue on here.
I guess sorry. I guess I was just looking to see if they're going to, if we were able to drop that down so it's mobile specific or detached specific.
Great question, and unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. You're unable
just do it through Paragon. Okay.
So the monthly indicator selection here, if you click on it, it'll give you a time period option. And as you see, it defaults to most recent. It also goes back by your month and year here as well. And if I click on it, I'll just click on most recent here, view report. So this report here gives the association's nice summary for that previous month. All right, so a nice way to see kind of what's happened in the local, the local market for Nova Scotia. You have some really quick facts here that you can use to support your clients and just to help you kind of better understand, what's going on in the surrounding area and with the local market. Scrolling down, there's other market overviews and other metrics kind of broken out for you here as well. Showing time has reports included in here. I like this in terms of it shows you like how many showings were maybe needed before getting a pending deal or getting a sale and such. And they break it out very nicely into the different areas for your use and reference and whatnot. These would be really easy actually to take like little snapshots of, right? And you could use it in your like if you're looking to create infographics for social media or whatnot, or your monthly newsletter. I literally, everyone's like, what cool tools do you use, Shayna? I literally use the snipping tool. I just went into my start menu here. I didn't go to the proper part of the page, but you get the idea. I literally in my start menu started typing snipping tool, and you would all have this available to you as well. Hopefully you can see that right now. You can just save that, include it in your, for as I said, for your marketing and whatnot as well. Okay, so that's the showing time tab here. And then NSAR's annual report selected here goes back to 2019. Just that's when this program was integrated with our MLS system. Clicking most recent, view report, and here you go. The entire annual report for 2024. A really great summary here. Sales, listings, sales by price range, and it goes, there's 11 pages. I won't go into every single one, but gives you really wonderful percent adjustments year over year, and some quick facts. And once again, some more visuals that could be very, very helpful to you to better understand what's going on. Okay, so once again, that was the Fast Stats tab up in the main menu of Market Stats here. Jessica, I know she's amazing with all these different, even more so than I even know, different shortcuts and such for for all these different tools. She just popped that into the web chat for you guys. Okay, InfoSparks. Let's go take a look at the InfoSparks page together. So up along the very top here, we will start to input our MLS area. It could be areas. You can compare up to 4 different MLS areas. And all you would do is just click add area, and it will continue up until the max of 4 here to give you the option to input an area into each one of these tabs. Let's just start with 1 here and take a look to see what we can accomplish together on this chart. So if I put my cursor right here in the MLS field, this is the different options available to us. And you can input MLS areas in here in a plethora of ways. I like to just start typing in what I'm looking to target down, target for this specific chart. So, let's just say Bedford. Or if you wanted to be very specific about that district or sub-district, you can do so as well. It is all in here for you. Okay, so I'll input 20 there. Before we move on from there, I want to point out the different filters that are available for your MLS areas down along the bottom. As you can see, you can include MLS areas by way of county, federal ridings, the different very specific areas of the association, city, postal codes. All the postal codes for NSAR for Nova Scotia are in here, and you can use those to pull the dynamic data for districts. And I'll show you this fun little drawing tool here, My Areas, before we get too far in, because it takes me to another page here. So if you click on My Areas, these are all of the areas that I have specifically used the drawing tool for, which is this guy right here. So if you have a very specific neighborhood, maybe, a street, let's just call it, I find, I should probably think of some better examples there, but I find realtors typically have an idea of a very specific area that they like to farm, or that they show a lot of properties in or whatnot, or, list a lot of homes in. So you can use this draw area tool. It's telling me it's going to take me to another page. So you can scroll around here, and you can just use Control and scroll out to choose whichever area you'd like to draw. I'm just going to make one up here. Let's pretend we had a client that really wanted to live around, what is this? Campbell Point Beach Park. Sure, sounds like fun. Your little drawing tools are up here. There we go, my little polygon. Just do a little drawing here. Okay, get a little drawing there. I'm going to click save. What was that called? Campbell Point Beach Park. Okay. Campbell Point Beach Park. Save. There we go. So now when I go to my InfoSparks page and you want to pull data for that very specific park area, once again, maybe you're looking to list a property there or you have buyers looking and you're interested in keeping your finger on the pulse with that market, you just come down here to My Areas and there you go. So now this chart has changed accordingly based on that drawing on that map that I just completed. All right, so let's just get rid of that for today. I'm going to do all. Let's just put Bedford back in there for fun, 20. Perfect. Okay, so hopefully everyone's understanding how these MLS tabs work. If you need any support with that, just let me know. So the next thing that I like to do is go down to the variable section here. All right, so we see we're looking at price range variables, property type, bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage. So the price ranges are floating. They're dynamic based on the certain MLS area that you've inputted into the MLS area field. And so you'll see these ranges adjust based on the algorithm that's pulling that specific average ranges data, price data for that area. You can adjust these price ranges if you'd like for your chart here. If you click custom, we can now adjust those ranges. So maybe you were just actually interested for that Bedford area, looking at, let's call it 850 and up. You wanted to be able to select 850 and up for your chart, right? Click done. So I made that adjustment right there in that last field, right? 850 to open, and this is going to be open, no max. I'm going to click done. You see how it changed that last one for me here on under price range? So now if I was looking to pull data for Bedford, 850 or more, I can click on it. And this chart has adjusted accordingly. Okay. Property type here, we can select either single family or condo. Okay, so single family would be there. All bedrooms, right? So when we start to look at bedrooms and bathrooms and the size of a property, I do like to recommend to avoid being like super specific because as we all know, like when we're doing Paragon searches and such, right? Sometimes inputting more criteria doesn't work in our favor because it produces zero results or very limited results, right? So if you go ahead and maybe under bedroom, select like one bedroom or fewer. Oh, no data, right? I get a lot of calls on this actually. I get members will call me and say, Shayna, the program it's not working. And when I take a look, I see that they've just drilled this down like very specifically, and there's just literally no data available to pull, right? So just something to be mindful of. So I hesitate to be too specific on these last three variables. I tend to like to um, select all just to make sure that I am pulling all of the data available for this price range and this property type. But I understand you may have a very specific agenda and you want to see what data you can pull based on these last three. I don't see any questions, so I will continue on here. So I imagine you've noticed that this chart has adjusted accordingly, right? As I've inputted Bedford and these different variables along the top. Before we head over to metrics here, let's just take a look and not overlook these three little tabs right here. So it's going to default to monthly, meaning that so each of these little points on the chart is referencing a specific month of data. All right. If there isn't a point available for a month, it means that there's no data to pull for that specific month. All right. So if you're wondering why there seems to be a gap, or maybe you're comparing multiple areas here, let's input Sackville in there. So I've inputted a second MLS area, right? When we input a second MLS area here, just be mindful that you will need to input these variables again, because these variables are specific to this MLS area that you have open. So if you want to compare the same variables for these two MLS areas, so I just clicked on Sackville again. I'm going to go to custom here. I'm just going to see if I can make it so there isn't data for a certain month. Single family, all. Beautiful. Looks pretty good. I guess there's some nice high points. Oh, there you go. There we go. That looks a little better. A little more like what I wanted to show you here. So you see how over here, March 2022, Bedford has a dot, but Sackville doesn't, right? There just happens that there weren't any closed deals in March 2022 in Sackville based on this criteria that I've inputted here. Okay. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there, but I was looking at the monthly tab here, right? So you can also look at these points by way of rolling trends if you would like. So rolling 3 months. So each point showcases 3 months of data and compares these two MLS areas that I've inputted up here. Okay, I like the monthly one. I'm going to leave it on monthly, but as just wanted to let you know that you do have the trends available to you here as well if you prefer that point of reference. It's going to default to pull back 3 years worth of data. If I click on this little tab here, you can just look at this last year, see what that looks like. You can also go back, which is 2012. So when we look at things, so it looks like in 2022, in the criteria that I've included up here, these variables, 850 or more, single family home, right? 2022 is when, like between 2012 and 2022, 2022 is that first sale at over 850 there for Sackville. You can see that blue line shows up for us now, right? So this is a great way to look at, and let's play around with the metrics now along the bottom, right? So this is a great way to see different trends over the years. I'll leave it on max for right now so we can take a look at some fun data. I'm a bit of a days on market nerd. I think it tells us a lot about a property and whatnot. So I'm going to click days on market. The MarketStats team, they recommend selecting median in any one of these metrics because they'll give you a much more specific data point, whereas the average pulls from lots of different sides of the pendulum, right? So just something to be mindful of. This, if you do select average, it won't be as specific data, but median gives you that direct middle point of data there. So days on market median here. So Sackville and Bedford, right? So once again, I have selected 850 or more. So this is showing me the median days on market for each month going back to 2012 for both of these MLS areas. Okay, I'm going to deselect that 850. I just wanted to show you how how we can make that custom. So here we go. All price ranges. So days on market, median. If you're wondering, let's take a look, like new listings, right? So we can tell very quickly what the busier months are for new listings going live, right? What are the least, what months have the least amount of listings going live? Closed price points, median, right? So we once again, I've selected all the way back to 2012, but we can see how those price points over COVID and such kind of skyrocketed a bit for us there. I'm going to go back up to max here. I'm going to just go back 1 year, right? So this cleans things up a little bit for us. drills it down a little further. And as I'm hovering over these points here, you can see that it's displaying for me what that median closed price is for these two MLS areas by month for us here. These metrics, and I'll show you at the very end before we're done here, the user manual and FAQ up in the very top menu. It is very helpful and very specific about how to use each of these variable sections as well as what each of these metrics mean. So if you're wondering what any of these metrics may mean, you're just a little confused by what it's referring to, the user manual here has a really nice like one sentence description of all of each of these different metrics and how to use it to its fullest potential. Month supply, right? I get asked about that a lot. Month supply is down here. So it shows you that calculation there. All right. I don't see any questions. Don't see any questions. Okay, I'm going to continue on then. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. I'm going to go back to days on market, median. Perfect. Okay, so there are a couple different ways that we can print and share and use these charts to help us in our business. Right here, nice and easy, the print button, right? So if you simply wanted to print this chart, you can click print. And it will give you a PDF here with your branding along the top and give you this this chart to whether it be include in your showing sheets or your listing presentation, however you want to use it, or maybe it's just for your own reference. So that is the print button right there. Share. So this is my favorite, and I'll kind of nerd out here for a few minutes with this, bear with me. But this share button, I think, is one of the most valuable out of all the tools that NSR is able to proudly offer its members. I think this share button in MarketStats is unreal. I love it. So this little share button, step one, you can select either static or live data. Okay, so static will be this exact data that we've asked the system to pull. If I select live, this chart that I've inputted into the system, the criteria that I've inputted into the system, will always stay up to date as long as someone is accessing the link. I'm going to show you that here in a moment. If no one's accessing the link, it does expire after 9 months just for data integrity purposes and such. So I think, okay, well here, let's start with static first. I think, let's start with the static first before I get ahead of myself and get all excited about this live data. So static, right? You can easily print, which is what we just did, right? Print, download this. Social media and email, right? So if you just wanted to share this exact same data here, select social media and email, click share, and you now get this URL that you can copy and go ahead and paste it in your, in your own inbox and send it off to a client for their reference. Maybe you have someone that's reached out to you that's asked for certain market data, or maybe you're working with them to prepare their house to list and you want to keep them up to date with the activity in their area and whatnot. So you can copy and paste this link and send it off to them. If I click view a new window here, so this is now like a dynamic interactive chart. And we're looking at the perspective of someone clicking on that link. So if you've emailed this to someone, if you've posted it on your Facebook page, if you've included that link in your monthly newsletter, or sent it off to someone via email, this is what they receive when they click on that link. There's some great ways for them to kind of further share and use this chart. So they have the options and integrations here to share to their socials, email it to somebody. They can also download the PDF right here with the PDF icon. Down near the bottom, you'll see that they have their share options again. This little spreadsheet icon, it allows whoever's looking at this link to view the CSV version of the chart as well. And the PNG icon is also available here. So if they just wanted to simply just look at a PNG version, or if you wanted to, if you're looking for like a visual, right, and wanted to just take a snapshot or print, save a PNG to use as a visual on your social media or your monthly newsletters, you can do so CSV for this chart. If I click on that, let's see if that goes to your downloads there. And then you get, hopefully you can see this Excel spreadsheet here. So another great way to look at this and use this chart. Okay, so we were just looking at static data, right? Static, I selected social media and email, right? And then it gave us this link that we could then copy and paste, and I just clicked view in in a new window to show you kind of what that looked like. You can also use static data to embed this chart into the back end of your blog page on your website, as well as you can also just simply look at the CSV chart as well if you wish. Okay, and anytime you select any one of these different options in step 2, if you click share, it gives you that link to go ahead and download or copy and paste. And then to go ahead and select another option in step 2, you just click start over here and it just resets it for your use. Ryan, why when you print the chart do the actual numbers not show up? So printing the chart is just the static data, right? So it's not an interactive kind of dynamic chart to look at the numbers. That's where the this link here, social media and email, would be really helpful, you know, when you're emailing or wanting to reference the data and whatnot. So my recommendation to help with that, Ryan, and that's where we were headed next. So great timing.
Bar graph.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
The bar graph.
The bar, yes. I haven't talked about the bar graph yet, but I will in a moment here. So the live selection here under step 1. So if I select live, so now in step 2 here, if I select social media and email, so once again, live data, meaning this chart is going to stay up to date constantly for you, right? So social media and email, click share. So if you copy and paste this, send it off to a client, I recommend ask them to bookmark it, right? If maybe it's someone that's in touch regularly that is looking for, you know, information, as I've already stated, you know, maybe they're looking to buy a house in a certain area and they're looking to keep certain neighborhood market stats on their radar. Rather than sending them this chart constantly and repulling it every single day or week, however much you're in touch with them, pull it once, select live, select this link, view a new window, right? They would open up this link and they can bookmark it. Or I've worked with a lot of realtors to help them set up all these different charts for themselves, and they can, like, if it's just for your own interest or you're interested for your own buyers or clients, bookmark it for yourself, and that way you don't have to pull the same chart over and over and over again, and it's just easy for you to access in your bookmarks there. Once again, would also be really great in terms of, like, if you're going to embed this into, I'm just gonna click start over here, embed this live data into the back end of your website. You could then go ahead and use that blog page of yours to post on your social media, use that live data to redirect folks back to your website. And those charts are, as I said, constantly up to date on your blog page in the back end of your website. Travis, the social media link, does it expire after 9 months or 3 months? It'd be 9 months. 9 months. And that's, once again, that's as long as someone's accessing it. So that's why I recommend, in terms of, like, make sure you're bookmarking the links, encouraging your clients to bookmark the links. You know, use the links regularly in your monthly newsletter. If you're using the live links on your Facebook page, you could pin it to the top of your Facebook page as a really great value add for certain areas, right? Like, you know, here's the median days on market for Bedford, and then another post for median days on the market for Sackville, and, you know, pin those to the top of your page or use them throughout your monthly newsletter to make sure that they're used regularly and continue to show that value add to your clients.
So if they're pinned to the top of your Facebook page, does it automatically expire after 9 months, or as long as anybody clicks on it, does it stay active?
As long as anyone's accessing the link, then
for your Facebook page?
Yep, anywhere.
Okay.
Through your Facebook page, if you use it in Instagram, your monthly newsletter, if it's bookmarked and people are accessing it through their bookmarks, or you've emailed it to them, anyway.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. How do you pin to Facebook page? So when you do a post on your Facebook page and it goes live on the page, you'll have the option. I believe on my Facebook, it looks like 3 little dots in the top right-hand corner, like a little overflow menu, same as like this type of overflow menu. You click on it and then you can select pin to page. There you go. There you go. Any other questions while we're here?
Can we, kind of like Cloud CMA, can we change the color of it so it looks more company related?
Unfortunately, not. There
Yeah.
aren't a lot of customizations available. The only customizations would be under your profile tab here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Info Sparks here. So I was looking at the line graph version, right? And oh, sorry, I just lost my. There we go. Let's try that again. I'm just do all. There we go. So I was using the line graph. There is a bar graph available to you for use here as well. So if you click on it, for the printouts and such, there is a bit more of a visual here. I do find that the bar graphs can get a little, you'll notice as you start to play around with, the different variables and such, that, where are we here? That the bar graph can get a little messy and a bit more convoluted. But just use your, just use your own preference, right, on which chart you prefer, the bar or the line. All right, but yeah, you can't break it. I promise you can't break it. I think sometimes when people look at this page initially, they're like, oh my gosh, like what's going on here? But hopefully that's kind of helped you understand how to, use the different MLS areas, the variables, the metrics along here, and the different, the different kind of data points here, and the time frame right here, and then the line or bar chart here as well. And as I said, you can't break it. So don't, you just play around with it and you'll be great. The share button here, I just want to make sure I covered all of this. So live data, I think that this step 2 here with like the social media and email options, embed and CSV is a really great tools. And if you wanted to talk further kind of one-on-one about how to use these charts and create different charts and links to include, as I said, in your monthly newsletter, your social media, you want to embed any blog post to the back end of your website, I could totally help you, walk you through that, because I just think this is a really great way to kind of show a value add to your clients here. Okay, so we talked about the profile section. We talked about fast stats here. We've also, we looked through InfoSparks here together. The user manual and FAQ. So if I click on that tab here, I won't go through all this, but as you can see, it's all hyperlinked and charted over on the left-hand side here. So if you were wondering, for example, how to use those metrics specifically, or what they meant, you can click on metrics and it explains what each of those metrics mean right there for you. All right, same with like my areas. If you're like, I saw her draw that weird polygon thing. How did she do that? So my areas, right? And it explains right here how you can go ahead and use my areas, the variables and whatnot as well. Okay, so that was MarketStats there. How's everybody doing?
Good. I have a quick question, if you don't mind.
No,
I
please.
often will print off sort of the information on here, but if you can you see this on my screen where Bass
Let's
River?
See here. Sorry.
Do you see where Bass River, and I had to write in 283? That's showing up for you?
Let me take a look. Sorry, now I need to get rid of this screen over here. Okay, 283 or
See
38.
How I had to write that in there?
Yes.
What? Why?
So do you mind just bringing the chart back up so I can see like what variables and stuff you had in there? So you compared, sorry, now I need to get rid of the web chat. My apologies. So you compared up to 3 different areas. do you mind moving that to your left, other left, sorry, so I can see what price point you had in there? So my best guess on that is that there isn't data like MLS data available for those specific variables for Bass River.
You know, I find that sometimes, a lot of the times, it omits a certain area on there.
Okay, well, yeah, if you ever
write it in, because I usually use this as a, like, I print it off and take it as a listing package to present to the client, right?
Right.
So one way I found to sort of include the numbers is to edit, to export the screen as a PDF, and then the numbers show up that way. Is there an easier way to do that?
I'm sorry, do you mind just running that by me one more time?
Yeah,
What are you
so, like,
trying
you
to
know,
do?
when you print these charts off, so like days on market, it will just show the lines without the actual data points, the numbers.
Right. Yeah.
And I want those numbers included. But the only way to do it, I found, is to export the whole page as a PDF.
Right, like a print screen or whatnot.
Pretty
Almost.
much.
Yeah.
Is there a way to,
I wonder if the bar graph maybe is a better option.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Because, and once again, as I said, it can get a little messy, like if you're putting in 4 different areas and stuff. But like, let's sorry, you said Bass River, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Bass River. What was the other one there? Let's just do 2.
I did the northern region.
Northern region. Okay. And so if I do
you see how right there there's no data for Bass River?
Yeah, let's take a look here. So green. Yeah, you're right. Bass River. No data. No data. Okay, let me here, I'm going to take a screenshot for myself here, and I'm going to get in touch with the MarketStats team. I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to tell me that there wasn't, because they do have certain limitations around if there was only, you know, one deal or whatnot, that they might not be able to pull it. They have different settings on that, but I'll take a look here with them and I'll let you know. So this is Ryan, right? Is that your name, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I don't know why this is taking so long. But yeah, I will reach out to them about that. And maybe and something like that, maybe there's even just like a data glitch there where it's not syncing Bass River, right? So that's important stuff for you guys to reach out to me for, because I can definitely look into it and make sure that it gets fixed if needed too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I appreciate you bringing that
to
my
what
attention.
Do you do, Ryan? You normally just go into Paragon and do your search for residential, what you're looking through Paragon, and get your stats that way?
Well, it does. If I play around with it, it comes up, and you know, like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but it does come up. Like, I was able to figure out that it was 238 price per square foot, because that's what it was after, right?
Do you guys use the MLS HPI tool at all? Have you guys used that with Kriya's tools? I'm just looking at the time. I'm in no rush, but if you guys wanted to stay on for a few minutes, I'm happy to look at the HPI tool with you as well, because that's through Kriya and they have some really great options for MarketStats as well if you want. Okay, so let me regroup here. Do a little refresher.
I tend to just go right straight to Paragon, grab my exact search what I'm looking for, and then I utilize MarketStats to cover stuff that I can't grab or that's just easier to be calculated. Pretty much just monthly supply availability is the main one I go get. I can get the rest of it through Paragon by just punching in the info.
So for the MLS HPI tool here, it used to be located on your dashboard here, but unfortunately, due to the way Kriya has their website set up, they needed an extra layer there, oddly enough. So it is now hiding under your member site. So if you click on member site, you just sign yourself in. So down here, MLS HPI, there we go. You click on it, and here, let me pull up there we go. So this is what it's going to look like, this little icon on your member site here. So just a quick little overview of what it is. So it is Korea describes it as the most advanced, accurate tool to gauge home price levels and trends. And it looks at different time-related indices and just residential markets again, though. I'll quickly look at the price estimate tool with you because it's nice and quick, but they have a really great YouTube site with like 2-minute videos that explains the rest of the tools available on there for you. I think that there might be something that you will find helpful here. So once again, I just clicked on the member site and then I just clicked on the HPI tool. And all of the tools, it's not the prettiest thing, but all of the tools are available to you along the very top here. I'm going to click on price estimate. So the price estimate tool is going to provide an estimate of the current market price of a home by taking the change in the benchmark price since the home was last purchased and applying it to its previous purchase price. So this is really helpful for CMAs and whatnot, right? Looking at suggested list prices. But Ryan, and I didn't see exactly what like metric you were pulling there when you held up that printout, but you can also look at different like timeframes and benchmarks, percentage differences by time frames and such as well. So, and that's all up here available to you. And if you, you know, and shoot, I meant to, if I go to YouTube, let's see here, YouTube, I'll get the link here, Korea support. If I can't find it quickly, what I'll do is I will just, I'll email it to Jess and she can, oh, no. Let me try one more thing here. MLS HPI tool. Okay. Why should you use? Okay, I'm gonna dig a little deeper to find this link for the tool. It's like they have a couple 2-minute videos. They have one that's 10 minutes long, and it goes into each one of these tools very specifically. So you can look at that on your own time. And actually, you know what? Sorry, I know I'm all over the place here. Bear with me. Knowledge base. Let's go down to MLS HPI because I actually created a PDF that went into the newsletters. Here we go. Boom. So I'm going to grab that link for you and web chat. There you guys go. There's the link that you need for this wonderful MLS HPI tool and all the different tools within it. So this price estimate one, back to that one, sorry, price estimate. I'm going to click on it. So you can select sub area and property type in this massive menu. But as you can see, all of it for our, like all the different areas for our association are included here. Right. So, and my apology, you guys probably know these codes better than I do. I need to reference the PDF on the Paragon homepage. But for example, I'm just going to choose 13C. Let's pretend I'm looking for a price estimate on a single family 1-story home in 13C. You click on it. This is adjusting accordingly. Select previous date of sale, right? So what date and year was it previously sold? I'll just say May 2005. And what was that previous sale price? So I'm just going to put in a fake number here. There you go. So based on Korea's algorithm and all the stats that Korea pulls, this is obviously I chose a very high-end area there. And I guess I did go back to 2005, but this is yeah, based on the HPI trends, what they would recommend if there was no massive like big changes to the home and whatnot too, right? So anyways, these tools, members have been really liking them because it's directly through Korea and can give you some really wonderful data and charts to download and print and such as well. Can really help you understanding what's going on in a certain area, as well as you know, suggested price for an upcoming listing of yours. I'll show that to you one more time. So I'm on the dashboard here, right? I'm going to click member site. And your MLS HPI tools right here. And these are really, like once you watch those 2-minute videos that I just sent in the web chat, These tools up here are really easy to use. As you can see, you're literally like inputting the area, the property type, and such in here, and your time frames typically. Okay, so that's another option as well. So we looked at MarketStats here, and we also looked at the MLS HPI tool briefly together for today. How's all that landing?
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. You're really welcome. I'm always happy to help. Okay, well, and Jess, is there anything else that anybody wants me to review or any other questions that I can help with while I'm here with you? Anything else? Crickets? Someone in the chat here. Kelly. Yeah, you're so welcome, Kelly. Yeah, no, I'm going to be highlighting the HBI tool in all my future trainings and such and whatnot. So I think it's a good one. So you're so welcome, Maureen. Yeah, sounds like everyone's feeling pretty good about what we reviewed today. So as I said, my contact information, it's not a secret. You're always more than welcome to reach out. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd be more than happy to help you with whatever you need. I'll be back with you guys, not next week, but the following week for Paragon Connect. I'm going to help you get it all set up on your phone and help you use it to your its fullest potential. And I've trained I've done formal trainings on it with over half the membership in the last 2 months, and literally like they've told me that it's changed their lives. So I'm really excited to share some of that magic with you guys too.
Look forward to it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. You're welcome. Thanks, Jess. I really appreciate you having me again.
I figured it would be automated. Thank you for coming. This was great.
You're welcome. We'll chat soon, okay?
Sounds good.
Bye.